Hello and welcome everyone to yet another episode of Cricket where we speak about the daily reviews of every match. Today we'll be in this video we'll be covering the match between Mumbai Indians and Punjab Kings, which was yet another close, thrilling encounter that eventually ended up with MI, the two-time defending champions, finally ending their three-match losing streak. With me, I have Nishant and Nishchit, my regular panelists almost. And I'll before we come to what the Mumbai Indians did, I'll first come to Nishant and ask about an unlikely name, Aiden Markram. He was signed pretty late into the season for Punjab Kings. And in the first game, we saw he was given the precedence ahead of the universe boss himself. Today, we saw him at had Markram not scored those 42 of 29. Punjab was very low on the runs tally, and he even chipped in with 3 overs. So it's an all-round effort. How do you see Aiden Markram as a cricketer in general? Your thoughts?
Yeah, so Aiden Markram is you can say that one of the biggest name in the future South African team because we have seen him playing for South Africa. Even if he plays that cover drive, I think it's what topmost cover drives. Even Virat Kohli tweeted about this cover drive. Yeah, so it's like exclusive. Like it's so gently said. Like he's famous for his cover drive, and his average also in the T20 cricket is quite good. Like he plays with an average of 35, and his strike rate is also 150 plus. So it was a good choice for Punjab, like because their batsmen Nucleus Puran, Chris Gill are not in that good touch. So Markram is a good addition, and including in today's match, it was a good knock. Like we also he played with he helped Punjab to go to a good total because if he didn't play then it was it might be a nightmare for Punjab today because okay, Rahul
Yeah.
failed. Mayank Agarwal was not playing. Nicholas Puran again failed today. The pitch was
Chris Gayle
slow.
failed, huh?
Yeah, Chris Gayle failed. Pitch was slow. The bat was not coming to the ball. Ball was not coming onto the bat like we saw today. But Aiden Markram is a good choice. I must say that, and we'll see him more matches. I would like to see him to play. I would like him to play more matches, right? Because he had got that class like Virat Kohli has got,
Yeah.
KL Rahul has. So it's a treat watching him bat. So
And
it's a
I'm
good
gonna
addition
say
to.
this, that it's very rare for a foreigner batsman in Punjab Kings to come in and actually start performing from the set go. And yes, it's about Punjab Kings have ended up losing yet another match that pushes their qualification
Still, I was
scenario into.
enjoying the RCB's win, and my second most favorite team lost again today. I really want to see Punjab Kings in the playoff, yeah. Like KL
Yeah, I mean,
Rahul,
exciting, right?
it's
Just
really
very
disheartening.
exciting.
It's disheartening
Have
to see KL
never a
Rahul
dull
every time
moment.
KL Rahul showing getting thrown out of the playoffs. But yeah, still there are chances that they may qualify. But again, the chances are getting blinks day by day and match by match. So hopefully
Yeah,
they will qualify
chances
for the
are
playoffs.
bleak
Let's see.
right now. We'll talk about
Yes.
Mumbai Indians, who have finally got themselves going with a Pandya and Pollard flourish at the end. It was struggle for them. Punjab Kings had a strong grip in the match till the longest time. I mean, just to keep things in perspective, a chase of 136 and Mumbai still needed more than 10 in the last few overs. So Punjab were in it, but we finally saw Hardik Pandya the finisher, Pollard the finisher. I mean, Pollard did it earlier as well. But overall, how do you feel Mumbai Indians this win? Will it be enough to rally them around and get into a winning spree? Nishit?
Yeah, obviously. Hi, Divaipa. And I feel that the performance of Pandya and Pollard will obviously catapult Mumbai to a winning spree. It will give a huge boost to the confidence. The six by Pandya to seal the match obviously shows and sums up the
And
essence of what
Huda's
Pandya
drop
has.
catch.
Yeah, that's true. But the way Pollard and Pandya performed today, and Pollard picking up his 300th wicket and completing 10,000 runs, obviously, the only player in T20 cricket to perform so well, uh, once again proves his performance as a brilliant all-rounder in this form of the game, especially, and picking up the wicket of KL Rahul for reaching his landmark. His 299th wicket was Chris Gayle, and then it was KL Rahul, the 300th wicket. And he also mentioned, Pollard mentioned in the post-match presentation that he doesn't have a lot of pace. He is not a great seam bowler, but at the end of the day, he knows how to use his brain and how to perform. across all the formats of the game, especially in white ball cricket. And also the wicket of Gale, where I guess Pandya picked up the catch. So once again,
Yeah.
that was a partnership by both of them. And we had discussed this in the previous matches, where we talked about how Pandya will be an important player for Mumbai Indians and also for the upcoming World Cup for India. So he needs to perform, and today he did just the same. He was brilliant with the bat, and Pollard once again performing with both the ball and the bat, which I guess that was missing from the three losses that Mumbai had in the previous games, because their batting collapsed and they were not all-round performances, not a collective effort. It all was on the shoulders of Rohit Sharma, giving them brief starts in the opening, but then no one was able to salvage and make the best of the situation. But I guess today we saw a collective effort. Everyone chipped in, everyone gave valuable contributions, and we were able to see the old MI back into form. And I guess today it is the exact opposite of the previous match, where DC got the wake-up call that they needed just before the important matches begin, and Mumbai Indians get into form just at the right moment, where they couldn't afford another loss, and I guess they won. And as you rightly mentioned, Punjab Kings losing 3 matches out of the last 4. I mean, the remotest possibility of them making into the playoffs if the other teams do not perform. So obviously your heart goes out for KL Rahul, despite the team performing so well. Once again, such a close contest, but they end up on the losing side. But once again, good to see Mumbai Indians, because we have a lot of Indian players in that. So positive side for the Indian team as well.
I think the Abu Dhabi pitch is helping Pollard. First of all, the pitch is slow and Pollard is bowling at 100 kilometers per hour. So batsman is waiting. Batsman is just waiting that when will ball come to the bat. Rahul
Right.
got because of that only. Like he was waiting when the ball to come on this bat. But so I think it's helping. And more of I think the match belongs to Pollard and not Hardik Pandya, because that over when he scored of Mohammad Shami literally took the pressure off from them. Hardik Pandya was lucky enough today. Like the last 2 balls was really lucky, because we have seen Karthik Tyagi defending 4 runs in last over. We have seen Narayan doing pretty good against CSK in the last over. So the match was there in their bar only, because if they on last over they can pull that.
Pollard was the difference, so he deserved to be the player of the match.
But if Deepak Huda did well on the boundary, I think there can be a chance. There was a little chance of Punjab getting back in the last over again, because Hardik Pandya was under pressure. That's why.
True.
Cricketing smarts is an adjective that I'd used for Pollard, and I also I think I heard him speak it for himself in an interview with Harsha Bhogle. And for this game, I feel it's a difference between what good teams do. I recognized that in the penultimate over that Hardik Pandya was facing, Mohammad Shami was bowling. They finished it there, right? At the start of the over, you did not see that happening. And good teams, the chasing, we always speak that the main battle happens in the second last over. Don't keep it till the last over. Anything can happen. Then ask Punjab, the batting side in that RR game. But I mean, another tough pill. I mean, being a Punjab Kings fan is not for the faint-hearted, is what
I was
learned.
also disappointed with Mohammad Shami. He was bowling short again and again. All the 6 balls were bowled short. I didn't know. Like I was not.
But maybe it was I find that maybe because of the way the pitches have been behaving, the bowlers tend to get frustrated. They are not able to work on the game plan, because in other pitches they might be able to work on a particular game plan where they might bowl full leg cutters, etc. But in this pitches nothing works, I guess. So in order to take out something out of the pitch, maybe it was trying to bowl short. But if the first 3 balls don't work, you need to try something Yorkers maybe. But who knows?
One of the Yorkers or low full toss could have worked. I think there were
chances that could be created.
In this midweek doubleheader, I have seen 2 absolute prime pacers trying short balls at the very end stages of a game. When Yorkers is something they excel. It's understandable if you are someone who hasn't played international cricket, you don't back your skills. You don't have the Yorker that can be perfected. But Shami and Rabada are 2 Yorker kings. You can say that Shami bowled 6 Yorkers to Rohit and QDK in that super over that happened last year. So slightly disappointing. Yes, I agree with Nishant completely. If it was Pollard,
then we can understand that Pollard has got that bottom hand. He can hit sixes one from the in the low full toss as well. But if in the case of Hardik Pandya, I think he should have tried that Yorker ball. Maybe he might have had different plans in his mind, but this was an option. But let's see
Yeah,
what
true. Many
he can do for
options
the
were
next
there,
matches.
but it just did not happen for Punjab Kings yet again. And yeah, you just feel for KL and his team right now. In discussing,
True.
in finalizing the topic for today's discussion of the day, which is a segment that we do daily, I thought, what should we pick? Quinton Tekock scored his 7,000 T20 runs today, career T20 runs. As Nishit mentioned, Kieron Pollard picked up his 300 T20 wicket, which is quite a milestone for anyone, let alone someone whose primary skill is not bowling. But I've chosen a third young rising star in Ravi Bishnoi, and I'm gonna put pitch my idea in a very creative manner. In that, I'd say like from today, 10 years from now, when we look
Okay.
back at my of the 2018 to 2021 phase, Rohit Sharma and Surya Kumar Yadav are their two top batsmen. For a bowler,
Right.
any position bowler, to get those two wickets in the same match is a very good result.
Good
But
job.
for
Right.
someone to get those two wickets in consecutive balls, you need to be a young talent as talented as Ravi Bishnoi. And I mean the second ball to Surya Kumar, Yadav, that
Yeah.
was just
Yeah.
amazing, amazing. And what do you think? Is he on his way to become a world-beating leg spinner in the time to come, Nishant?
Yeah, I think he has quite impressive like IPL statistics. He has taken around 19 wickets in 19 matches, and his economy is 7, average is around 20. So yeah, he has got that ability. Like Rahul, we have seen Rahul Chahar signing for Mumbai Indians in last season. But even Ravi Bishnoi had a good last season, right? He takes crucial wickets
Yes.
in all the matches that he has given the chance, and he has also got that like the only reason that selectors didn't select Chahal was the space, right? Rahul Chahar's balls just are quicker in the air, right? And Ravi Bishnoi has also got that. So yeah, we might see him really soon in the Indian cricket team, but it's too early to say. But we need some more performances, even and mostly in the playoff stages. If Punjab qualifies for the playoffs, we want Ravi Bishnoi to perform in that stages.
Right.
We want him to take wickets in those stages, and then he can prove himself. And we might see him in the like Sri Lankan tour or Bangladesh tour. Like there are chances for him to make his debut for the Indian team.
Yeah, and Nishit, before I ask you to comment on the same issue, I'd also like to add that just the presence of Ravi Bishnoi in the field. You remember in the first half
Yeah,
there are awards being given for the best catch of the season. Ravi Bishnoi had two of them, and one of those that he caught at the outfield, he just
yeah,
caught it, and then the way he ran around in the field, he's just that kid. A kid he is. He's only, I think, he's younger than me also, but he's just got this presence, this energy, this aura that he brings into the side that has someone as old as Chris Gayle, who is 42. I mean, Punjab Kings have seen it all. So Ravi Bishnoi, not just the bowler, wicket-taking bowler, but also as a character in the field. How important do you think he's gonna be in the times to come, Nishit?
Yeah. There's this personality around Suresh Raina that always makes him. He pumps up all the players, and he gets happier than the wicket-taking bowler, or he gets the happiest when someone scores a six. So I guess I see a lot of similarities between him and Suresh Raina in the way they get so enthusiastic and pumped up and charged when the other teammates perform. So apart from his bowling prowess, great spinner, he is a great fielding asset. So I wanted to bring that point up, but I'm glad you mentioned that he's a great fielding asset as well. But I totally agree with what Nishant says. I mean, the way if he will be performing in the playoffs, the way he performs under pressure, because a lot of pressure on him in the playoffs. So the way he'll be performing in such a crucial time, he'll obviously be under the radar of the selectors, and they will want him to perform under pressure. So that will be something that he and the team needs to take care of. But the two brilliant balls, I mean, Rohit Sharma, the first wicket, Rohit Sharma was buckling under the pressure of the dot balls in a way, and he wanted to go out and play the big shot, and he he swirled on his knees, so to speak. And like there was and in both the balls, I could see there was a lot of gap between the ball and the bat, which only goes on to show that the batsmen were totally bamboozled by the ball. It swirled a lot, and like it was not a close call. I mean, he completely outmaneuvered both the batsmen in two consecutive balls, And Surya Kumar Yadav taking this wicket, taking him out for the golden duck once again. I mean, people like I was expecting Surya Kumar Yadav to perform. He has been another scanner for a long period of time. He's not performing. We saw similar things from Ishan Kishan as well, not performing. So we thought maybe Sky will perform in today's match. But Ravi Bishnoi did not give him a lot of time. And in the first ball itself, he took his wicket. So Ravi Bishnoi, a fantastic upcoming leggy. But I agree with what Nishant has said that he needs to perform in the playoffs and also maybe in some trilateral, bilateral series if he performs in our continent, in our subcontinent, and if he gets the hang of the game, maybe over a period of time he might be a substitute for the other bowlers in the World Cup squad as well. But right now, I guess it's too early to comment on that.
True. This brings us to the final segment where we look forward to the next game, which is tomorrow. An important one, more for one team than the other, because it is Rajasthan taking on Royal Challengers Bangalore. The Royal Challengers Bangalore for now are sitting on the third spot very happily, in a very undisputed manner for a really long time. But another loss here would start shaking matters for them. Nishant, who is an RCB fan with us, and I pull his leg every time RCB loses and he does not show up for the show for a 1 week. As here now, so I'm gonna come straight to him and ask, what do you feel about RCB tomorrow?
I would like to see the battle, AB de Villiers and Virat Kohli versus Shreyas Gopal. Like Shreyas Gopal has dismissed both of them 3 times. And
Wow.
he's not.
Shreyas Gopal, he's
not
just
in
not
play.
getting any game time.
Yes, but I think because of his records against these 2 batsmen, I think they might play him tomorrow. And we have seen, like I said, that batsmen are facing difficulty against the googly deliveries.
Yeah.
Even we have seen Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers facing the difficulty against them. So I think Shreyas Gopal will get a game tomorrow, and that battle will be really like treat to watch. And I want Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers to not to add few records to Shreyas Gopal, and I want him to take the revenge. I want them to take the revenge of the previous dismissals.
Yeah, I mean it's like AB de Villiers has slightly fallen off the boil. Kohli has got a couple of half centuries, but has not yet got that match-winning knock. Even those 50s ended up in a losing cause for RCB. But Nishchit, what do you feel about Rajasthan tomorrow? Sanju Samson won the orange cap, which was, of course, won back by Shikhar Dhawan, because Delhi Capitals, of course. But Sanju Samson's first season as captain, he's doing well. He's shaping up well, better than what I thought he would. He's performing with the bat. He's, rallying around the group very well, marshalling the troops rightly for what I feel. He's just 26 now. So how do you feel about Sanju Samson?
Yeah, so I feel that at this point of the game, the stage that we find the IPL right now, the second leg, no team should get complacent, even DC. The loss today, wake up call for them. So yeah, so Shikhar Dhawan, obviously great performance. But about the match between RCB and RR, I feel that very contrasting teams, but a lot of similarities. They both have had rocky starts, but RCB got a morale boosting victory against Mumbai by 54 runs, which helped their run rate. While on the other hand, RR has suffered consecutive losses, which were huge losses. I mean, one by 7 wickets and one by 33 runs. So it affected the net run rate as well. So now RR will have to bounce back and perform. And RCB obviously will be trying, where they have 12 points and a good net run rate because they're a huge victory against MI. But Sanju Samson, as you rightly mentioned, he has consecutive half centuries in both the matches. But unfortunately, they were on the losing side. I mean, he hasn't had anyone try to support him. There weren't any collective efforts. I mean, he has been shouldering the responsibility of the entire team. And that's the story of RR in the last 2-3 matches, because we haven't seen any other batsman perform except for a couple of runs here and there. And Sanju Samson is the only lone success story for RR. I mean, if they need to find a victory at such a crucial stage of the second leg of the IPL, I mean, the batsmen need to perform as well. So RCB bowlers will try to make life miserable for them, but they will have to perform. Now, Kohli was very happy with the previous performance by RCB. When he was asked in the post-match presentation about the victory against MI, he said that it was a 10 out of 10 outing for them. I mean, obviously it was a good performance, but if they get complacent and if they get overconfident about that victory, they might get a wake-up call like DC did today. So let's hope that at the end of the day, Sanju Samson gets an able compatriot in the other batsmen as well, and they're also able to perform well against RCB. So personally, I will be backing Rajasthan for tomorrow's match.
All right. So clearly divided opinions to whom wants to win, to who wants which team to
Which
win
team to win,
tomorrow's
right?
match. Yeah, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be entertaining because I feel
And one last point, finally away from Sharjah, so maybe a high scoring game. Let's hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Sharjah in 2020 and Sharjah in 2021 are just two completely
Different
different
pitches.
poles of
Different
the earth
pitches,
now.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's good. I feel Kohli personally has got a point to prove. If he does well, if RCB does well, it's good for the loyal fan base that has stood them for such a long time, including one of us over here as well. So we'll be back there tomorrow at the same time, same place, discussing about the match, and a close one again where both teams have given it all and a lot of talking points. If you think we have missed any, please do comment in the section below and give us more ideas about the kind of videos you want. We'll be sending out a maybe weekly video as well of the performances. So keep a close check on our YouTube channel. And yes, thank you. Good night. Take care, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Good night.
Night.